I'm not a handyman. I'm just showing how I do things, and maybe you can learn from my mistake rather than do the same as I have done.
Now it's toilet work. I can't drain my bowl, so that was a little bit disappointment. And the problem is in the hose from the toilet pump out into the tank. So I have taken off the hoses. This is the toilet hose on my forward toilet. And there is very narrow here, so here's where I have a blockage on the after toilet, so I've taken away those hose, but at least it was in a hose that's relatively easy to replace, so I'm not too unhappy with that. But then there is a hose going from here, and this brass thing or copper thing is glassed in here, and there's no way you can get hold to the hose there without making some major work. Happily, I have what we call an endoscope that you can put in and see how it looks in there. And it wasn't as bad as I thought. I have made a short video I will click in now. And it's a small device. Sorry for that. It's a small device like this. Cost about 25 euro. If I would buy one, probably pay 100 euro and get some better quality. But it's not stupid. On the Wi-Fi, you can see on the phone what's happening. See here, I'm using this one to look at my phone.
It's not totally blocked, but it's certainly an idea to try to clean it out. We will try with some different methods and see what will help.
Drill with a piece of wire that I put into this because it's rock hard, but at least it's worth a try. At least you're seeing, it seems to be working. A lot of stuff coming down here. It's very dusty to do this, so I have to use the vacuum cleaner at the same time. So now I'm doing three things. I'm taking video, I'm vacuum cleaning, and I'm trying to clean everything in one hand. This is just after a couple of minutes. It's a lot of stuff coming out. So I think this is a much easier method. Very pleased for the result.
I don't know if you like my picture of the holding tanks, but I hope you understand how it works with the hose inside and how I can get the acid standing in it.
There we have it. There's a funnel, that's the hose going down here, and then it's hopefully sealed as it's not leaking, and then just fill it with acetic acid, and I hope it will be some reaction with calcium deposit and clean it out a bit. There's 70% hydrochloric acid. I noticed comes some fume from the bottle, so it's very strong hydrochloric acid. Has to be very careful not spill, and have any hydrochloric acid has no effect on copper or brass, so it's safe to use, but I will flush with water anyhow afterwards. And see what's happening when I put this one in. Oops. You can see that it's bubbling. I think that is strong enough for the hose. There, now I have poured about 8 deciliters of hydrochloric acid in here, and just see what's happening now. I think it will be there for an hour or so, and then we will pour it out and flush it with water.
You can see the massive difference with the one treated with hydrochloric acid and the one that is not treated, so it's certainly effective.
Now it's time to clean the second below here with the hose going into the holding tank. So by this hose, which is a lot thicker, and will demand more acid. So I can put it in this position, and here I had a mark. When the acid is up to that mark, we know that the tube is full on the inside of that.
The method works, so you can see the hose is much cleaner now, but lesson learned, flush the toilet with acid now and then and let it style for a while. And then you avoid this to happen again.
This is how you get a stubborn hose a little bit more cooperative. I have boiled some water in the kettle, and I just put it here for a short moment, and it becomes much softer, much easier to handle. And then I have it's the back end of a screwdriver that fits into the hose. I can enlarge it a little bit, so it slips on easier on the fitting for the toilets that I just did recently. It doesn't need to be very long into the hot water. It's getting quite soft. And then I just put in, for instance, a screwdriver like this, and you see the hose get a little bit larger and easier to put onto the stud. The problem can be to get rid of the screwdriver if you put it in too hard. Here again we have a hot rack. I shouldn't have the hose clamp on there, but it will probably prevent the heat from reaching the hose, but we'll try this way. On the stud, so it's less friction. So far relatively good. There it goes. Great. I hope it will. Oh, I can draw it very hard. It's quite solid.
Only thing that remains is to attach the hose to the pump out pump, and then we're ready to go.
See if that do. We'll see. I'll see if it holds water. It's leaking from under the pump, and it was not long time since I replaced this pump, and they cost about 250-300 euros pump like that, so I'm not happy with that. Besides it costs money and work, it also makes me not able to finish this job. I need to order a new pump or a new toilet, and I want to start with other projects, but soon, as always, I will have 10 projects ongoing at the same time, so a little bit disappointed. Yeah, obviously I haven't replaced this with a new one. It's an old one, and if you look in here, you see it's a lot of hair and stuff. So one thing is, never put hair into the toilet because it will clog up this mill. The original pump that come with it, this bolt holding it together broke off, and so I don't really know what to do with this, but at least I can take this part and replace it on the old one, because here's the leakage is here with the lip seal, so now I have that one. So I will take away that part and install that part. So that's what's going to happen now. Now I'm taking away this part from the broken pump, and you can see there is a lip seal here, and there is some rubber washer here for the screw here that keeps it sealed. So that was broken on this one. So there is a slot here for a screwdriver, so you can keep the axis fixed, and then you can unscrew the bolt to keep the cutter in here. There we have that. There it is. Yep. And here you can see how much hair and stuff that is clogged there, even though taking away quite a lot of it. So be careful when you're doing this, when you're using it on. Tell your girls don't put hair into the bowl. This calcium urinate hair, it's like some old-fashioned concrete. It reinforces each other, and it's quite cumbersome to get it away. So yeah, I'm in no hurry, so no big issue, but it takes the time, and it will be very dirty in here. But, yeah, very dusty. But, yeah, you can live with that, I hope. Easily see how it has leaked water in here. So, and also on the motor, but it's not come that much, so I think no problem with this engine, so this could be saved. So now I take the new lip seal here and the new, I don't know what you call it, plastic device here, and then I fill the lip seal with grease. Usually these springs are not stainless steel, so they will corrode after a while, and I'm quite sure this will keep them last a little bit longer. I put some corrosion X on this area also to protect it from corrosion. I think that's a very excellent thing to have on all kind of metal part. It's a little bit of a miracle actually. I'm surprised how well it works and take away rust and prevent from rusting. Everything is in place, and now we have just to install it, and then one of the cumbersome things is to get this O-ring to stay in place. You always want to mow away, so the very simple trick is to put some grease on it that will put it in place, at least a little bit better. So now the O-ring is in place, and now we just go to the toilet and install it and see if it keeps water out, or so more or less water into the toilet. There's a notch there, whatever you call it, and there's a groove in here that should fit into. So, but I first put a little bit grease on this one so it will not stick too much to the sometimes it could be difficult to get it out. So I have to lean over the bowl here. I have no problem with things, but some people might think this is disgusting. I think it's part of the process of owning a boat. So again, my snake screwdriver helped me. This is quite good. There's two good things with this. It's quite long and very flexible, and it's very small here where the bit sits. Some of them has a very big lumpy thing there, and then it's getting to the way. So this was his cheap stuff, I don't know, sort of $5, €5 at the most. But it solves the problem quite often. So now we see if it's going to leak or not. A little bit nota bene. It's important that you have this hole a line like this, so if it's leaking out. There's one on the other side as well, so I didn't put it on the top side, so it's two holes. Otherwise water has to pour up here before it leaks out, and then you destroy your motor. Now I'm filling the bowl, you can hear it, and now we see if something's going to leak out. I don't want to put more water than that. So far so good. Let's see what's happening when I start the pump. I'll put in a little bit more. Let's see what's happening. Filling a little bit more in there. And then it sounds very quickly, that's for sure. I think it's very boring looking here, but no leakage. Hallelujah! It's a pleased captain. Took his time, and just on to the next project.